the central nervous system. You know that central nervous system is, we were just talking in the previous session. What we were studying in the previous session was that they are the two agencies that generally, okay, that generally work for the control and coordination, that generally work for as a control and coordination. So there are the two agencies. One is the, which one was? The control and coordination control and coordination. Okay. Coordination, okay, in human beings is done by two agencies. One is the nervous system, and another one was, tell me which was that? Tell me which one was that?
Peripheral nervous system.
Yeah, that was endocrine system. Endocrine system, dear student. It was endocrine system. You understood?
Yes.
Okay. And this nervous system was divided further into three parts. One is the central nervous system. I have taught. The second one was PNS, peripheral nervous system. And the third one was what? ANS, autonomic nervous system. The central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. Okay. The peripheral nervous system consists of what? Cranial nerves, and spinal nerves. You understood? And autonomic nervous system consists of sympathetic and parasympathetic activities that we are going to discuss later. Okay. So these two are very important. That two we are going to study. So in the previous class, if I'm going to discuss that what we have studied, and I'm going to take 5 minutes to revise the previous topic. So let it be. So what we are studying in the previous topic, it was okay. I just discussed that there are two agencies. Number one is endocrine system, another one is the central nervous system, and that we have discussed in the previous class. Then I discussed that nervous system is held by a network of wire-like structure cell called neuron. What we called it? Neuron. Okay, there's a nervous system is held by a wire-like structure cell that is called neuron, that you can see in the figure here also. That is neuron, that is nerve-like structure. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give you a 5-minute quick revision. Okay, so keep in mind, I'm not teaching this topic. I'm going to give you in a fast recap. Okay, so this is held by nervous system, and it is also held by sense organ, that what we are sensing around us, that if the temperature is very high, if we see something dangerous in our eyes or to our eyes, so we feel fright. Okay, we got frightened. Okay, so we can simply say that the nervous system is held by wire-like structure cells called neuron, and it is the functional unit of nervous system also. And other things that we help us to sense this stimulus is these 5 sense organs: eyes, ears, nose, and skin. But the question does not come from this way. The question will come from this way. That eye is called photoreceptor, ear is called phonoreceptor, nose is called olfactory receptors, skin is called thymoreceptor, tongue is called gustatoreceptor. So many questions will arise from this one. Got my point?
Yes.
Yes.
Now moving to the next part is the information from this sense organ is passed through to the spinal cord with the help of a specialized cell called neuron. We have discussed this one. And in the previous class, we have discussed that human beings are the most advanced vertebrate. Vertebrate means that are going to have a spinal cord. Vertebrates are those organisms that are going to have a spinal cord. Okay. Along with the brain, they have the spinal cord. So these are the most advanced. Why we are saying? Because their response to the external stimulus is very fast. They respond to the environment changing environment or changing something to the at very faster rate. For example, if somebody put a snake on my collar, then I will respond instantly and start dancing everywhere. So you can understood my feeling. Okay. So this is my instant response toward a snake. But if someone give me a pizza on my hand, then I will start enjoying that one. Okay. So keeping in mind that we respond accordingly, we are the advanced organism. Okay, because we have this spinal cord. Now, in the previous class, we discussed about the structure of this neuron. And this neuron is actually, if I discuss that this neuron is a true eukaryotic cell, which has all the membrane bounded organelles present. Okay, and all the membrane bounded organelles present along with it. It has some finger-like or hair-like positions coming outward out of it, and it is the longest cell. What is it? Is the longest cell and approximately of 1 meter in long. It can be up to 1 meter. It can be up to 1 meter long. Okay, it can be up to 1 meter long, and moreover, it is the longest cell. It is true eukaryotic, means it has all membrane bounded organelles present. And moreover, it never divide. It never divide. The number of neurons, like we have RBC's life of 120 days, WBC's life of 7 to 12 days. Okay, so there are some cells that generally get died, and they are the new are formed. But this neuron cell, they never divide. Okay, it is fixed in number, and it never divide. It has 3 parts. It has 3 parts. One is this one, another one is this one, and this one. So this part is called cell body. Cell body. The middle one is called axon, and the last one was called synaptic terminals. Synaptic terminals.
Good
Okay,
evening,
synaptic terminals. Okay, and the function of these I have discussed. The cell body is going to have what? All the membrane bounded organelles present, like mitochondria will be present here, endoplasmic reticulum will be present here, and Golgi bodies will be present here. And this is the longest part called axon, longest part, and it helps in the conduction of impulse. And the synaptic terminals is the end that that help in the transformation of, or that help in conversion of electrical impulse into chemical impulse. So that we have discussed in the previous class. If you don't know, then let me know. I will explain you later. But you can also be given a video lecture for this one. But you need to understand here that all the functions of dendroid, axon, okay, and synapse. What is synapse? We have discussed in the previous class, I hope. Okay, and I have already taught you each and every point. If you have missed any point, then let me know. Okay. So moving to the next part is, let's start with this with today's class topic, that is central nervous system. Now coming to the point is central nervous system. Again, the nervous system has 3 parts. One is the central nervous system, another one is the PNS, peripheral nervous system, and third one is ANS, autonomic nervous system. So central nervous system consists of what? It consists of brain and spinal cord. Brain and spinal cord, dear students. Okay. So what does brain do? Okay, if I ask you what does brain and what is how it is protected, so let me discuss here that the central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. And brain, you know that there is a body, there is a head region. Okay, and this face region is entirely made up of 22 bones. How many bones it is made up of? Tell me. 22 bones. How many bones? All of you, please unmute your mic. I want the instant response. Let it be. Ashit, and I will ask you to whether you are writing or not properly, making your notes or not. So please note it down when I ask you to write. Okay. So there are 22 bones. That is including the nose bone. That is including the cheek bone. Other. But actually, the area where brain is protected is made up of only 8 bones. Okay. 8 bones. How many bones? 8 bones. And these 8 bones, like 1, 2, 3 here. Okay. You see. You can see the structure on internet also. Okay. So this is the skull, where the brain, and this skull, this bony skull is going to have 3 layers. This is the first layer. This is the second layer of bone, and there is a third layer of bone is present. There are three layers of bones are present, and these layers are called meninges. What we call them? Meninges. What we call them? Meninges. The three layers that make the
It
brain
is spelled,
safer. Yes.
so is it spelled MEN or MAN?
MEN.
Okay.
Meninges. Okay. Now moving to the part, they are the effect meninges. Okay, and these have the three different layers name. Okay, the outer layer is called dura mater, the middle one is called the arachnoids, and the inner one is called pia mater. That is for your MCQ if someone asks you and for extra knowledge. Okay, but coming to the point is that how brain is protected inside the body. Sometimes it's come that write a note on how brain is write a note on how or the safety of brain will it can be, or how brain is protected. Brain is protected. Okay, so brain is protected inside a bony hard cover skull called bony skull, or cranium. We also called it cranium. We also called it skull. You can call it skull. Okay, so it is going to have three layers, and importantly you need to understand here is that there is also a fluid. That is present inside this skull. Okay, that is present inside this skull that protect the brain. Okay, that protect the brain. Like if this is brain, okay, this is the brain. Okay, so this brain is being protected by this fluid-like structure that is called CSF. What we called it? This is CSF. This is CSF. That is called cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebrospinal fluid. What my point?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So write a note on how.
So the liquid is like light or like thick like honey. How is it?
No, it is not like thick like honey. It is just like thick like just mobile oil. Mobile oil, you see, the
Oh,
mobile oil that is used in the car or in bike engines.
So is it like what?
It is denser than, it is slippery, and it is denser than water. Okay, but you can simply say that it is just like a mobile oil. You have you not seen mobile oil petrol along with
yes,
the mobile oil, the engine oil?
yeah, I have.
Okay, so this is
Yes,
like
sir.
this. And what can be the main function of this one? Can anybody guess? What can be the main function of this CSF?
It protects if a person gets crashed.
Yeah.
It protects the brain.
Yeah, it prevent the brain from sudden shock or jerk.
Shock.
Okay,
Shock.
sudden shock and jerk. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So imagine if you are having a bucket. Okay, this is a bucket, and if you place a coin in it without water, then if you move like this this bucket, then this coin will stick to the wall of this one. Okay, it will touch. But if you imagine that if this bucket is filled with water, and then you are having a coin, and then you move the bucket, then this coin will not touch. Okay, so what is the main function of this CSF? That it prevents the brain from sudden shock or jerk. Okay, understood?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, moving to the next point is, let's move to the next point is that this is the note on a brain, that it is the central of brain. It is the central of all nervous activities. Means whatever we are responsive, we are responding to any external stimulus or internally also, it is the center. Brain is the center. Okay, whatever the oxygen is we used, okay, more than 40% is used by brain. Okay, and then the rest is you consumed by the other part of the body. So if I'm saying that it is a center of nervous activity, means it is continuously generating large amount of energy, sorry, using a large amount of energy, and it is controlling center. Okay. And highly complicated and located in the head region. Where it is located? Located in the head region. Got my point? Huh?
Yes,
The
sir.
brain is enclosed in a
Yes.
hard bony skull. In a hard bony skull, we called it cranium. What we called it? We called it cranium, and it is made up of 8 bones. How many bones it is made up of? Tell me. 8 bones. Made up of 8 bones. And it is protected by three membranous layer called meninges. These are the
Yes.
outer layer is called dura mater. The outer layer is called dura mater. The middle layer is called arachnoid, ARCHNOID, arachnoids, and the inner layer of is called pia mater. Okay,
So why is
got
it
it?
called arcanoid?
Hmm?
Like why is it called arcanoid?
Why it is called arachnoids? Arachnoids,
Yeah.
it is a name given for its structure because it is just playing important role. Because the outer layer is very durable, so that is called duramater. Arachnoids is just like arc structure we have like this. Okay, that is arachnoids, and it can be some other reasons also. So why it is called, I specifically don't know, but it can be because it is arc-like structure. That's fine, or it can be some other reason. I'm not sure about it. Moving to the next part is that it is filled with a specialized fluid called CSF, that is called cerebrospinal fluid. Okay, and that is colorless fluid that is present between brain. It is also present in the spinal cord also. Okay, the vertebral column means the vertebrate the bones in the spinal cord. Okay, it is also protected. It also protects the spinal cord also. So CSF is present in not only in brain, it is also present in the vertebral column of spinal
Spinal
cord.
cord.
Okay, so please note it down. Please note it down, dear student. And when you're done, please let me know. And I'm going to check by opening your camera whether you are writing or not. And any students, if he is refuse me to show the notes, then I will contact your parents. Please note it down properly.
Yeah, okay, sir.
We are studying central nervous system,
Okay.
CNS. Done?
Yes, sir.
Other students
So still doing it.
still doing?
Yes, thanks, sir.
Dear students, it is my heartily request from you that please make separate copy for biology, chemistry, and physics. Don't intermix the notes because these notes are very, very important. We are just working very hard for you. Just we want you to score above 95% in each subject. And this is not very difficult. You need to only make the proper notes and memorize it. These notes are more than enough.
Thank you, sir.
Don't mix these. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, done, sir.
Done. Other students done.
Yes.
Is there anyone who is still writing? Should I move to the next topic or still I have to wait? I'm not listening. Zeba, Ridwan, Badiha. Is there anyone left? Should I move
No,
to the
sir.
next slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now moving to the next portion is this. What is the function of this one? Is that this fluid protect the brain from sudden shock or jerk. So please note this statement also. Then I am going to proceed to the next slide. Okay. This is meninges, okay, and these are the three layers. The first layer, the second layer, and the third layer. Okay, this is pia matter, arachnoids, and this is dura matter. Okay, the dura matter, pia matter, arachnoids, and this is cranium, the outer main layer. Okay, this cranium, whole cranium it is. Okay, and inside it is the cerebrospinal fluid. You see, this is the brain, and this is the forebrain. This is the forebrain. Is generally the foreregion. We have divided the brain into three parts, mainly the forebrain, and generally it is the actually this is the main portion, or this whole actually this whole is actually forebrain. This whole is actually the forebrain. Okay, and this region is called the uh, hindbrain. Hindbrain. Okay, and this region you see here. This region is called the midbrain. Midbrain. This is the midbrain. What's my point? So we
Yes.
have divided the brain into three main major parts: the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. Okay.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now moving to the next part. To understand it more betterly, we're going to discuss this each and every part thoroughly. So let's move. That is, first part is called the forebrain, and forebrain consists of, we have divided the forebrain is very large, so we have to divide it now in subparts, subcategories. So we have divided the forebrain into three main categories. How many? Three main categories. The first part is called the the first part of forebrain is called olfactory lobes. Olfactory is responsible for olfactory indicators that you have also studied in the acid base and salt chapters. Okay, olfactory means related to smell. What does the word olfactory means? Tell me. Olfactory means
Smell.
related to smell. Okay, so this is, what is this? Olfactory is hollow structure. It is hollow structure and it is responsible for sense of smell. It is responsible for sense of, tell me,
Smell.
sense of smell. Okay, sense of smell, dear student. Okay, now the next part is, this part is, that is cerebral hemisphere, and this is the first largest part of the brain. If we ask the part of the brain, so in the midbrain, hindbrain, and the forebrain, we have divided the brain into three main categories: forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. So in these all three parts, the cerebral hemisphere, the word hemisphere itself indicating. Hemisphere means half of the brain. Okay, half of the you can simply say half of the sphere, you can say. So that is hemisphere. That's why it is called hemisphere. So it is being asked sometimes in the MCQs that which part of the brain is the largest part. So which part is that one? Is cerebral hemisphere, and it is also called cerebrum. What we called it? Tell me. Cerebrum. Okay, these are half spherical structure and generally responsible for those activities. You can remember it by this rum word ending with rum. Rum is wine. Generally in India or some other, I don't know whether in some other country, whether it is a Hindi word or a English word, rum. But rum is wine. Wine-like structure means it is alcohol. And when someone drink that, what happened? It start losing memory. Means vision is not clear, intelligence is not clear, speech, what he speak is not clear. Okay, and sense of reasoning is not clear. Okay, so whatever a person is going to have when he drink rum, so all those changes is controlled by this cerebral hemisphere. So you can remember it by this trick. It is half spherical structure and highly developed and large in men. It is not about the men in biology. There is no woman word is used. So if it is writing men, then it is considering the men and women both. Don't say that I am uh, parcellating or gender discriminating. I'm here. No, I'm not gender discriminating. Okay. Men in biology, the word woman is not used. So if it is written men, that means that we are talking about both women and men. Okay. So it is enlarged in men, responsible for intelligence. It is responsible for intelligence, memory, speech, vision, reasoning, etc. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So forebrain, other name of forebrain is foresensiphylon. So don't remember this foresensiphylon. Just remember that forebrain. Okay. So please note it down. Part of brain. We are just studying forebrain now, and we have studied its two part. It is going to have three parts. So please note it down. When you're done, please let me know.
Sir.
Yes.
So can you just say this thing? The cerebrum is responsible for conscious actions.
Yeah, you can say it is responsible for conscious action. Conscious means you cannot say that consciousness. Consciousness is a response to the stimulus. Whether if you say that conscious and unconscious are the two things. That if a person is not lifting his hand upside, then it is we say that it is not conscious. If it is not seeing anything, it is unconscious condition. Okay. Okay. So
So then
conscious.
we can. So can I say
So
like cerebrum is like can say
responsible for
uh,
all those activities that is pre-installed in our brain. For example, if we learn language is also a speech. Okay, so if I learn something previously learned, okay, memory, vision, speech, vision is also controlled by this cerebral.
then
Okay,
so cerebrum is responsible for any action that is so any action that is required for
Thinking,
yeah, it
thinking.
is a requirement is pre-installed. Okay, that is responsible. Or you can say just write it now. Whatever it is given, memory, vision, speech, intelligence. These are the.
it's a but
It
like
is not.
if
It
I
is not
have
responsible for locomotion. That, for example, if you are, it is you. If you are moving your hand, if you are lifting your hand, if you are eating something, so it is not responsible for that. Okay, so it is
also
brain related.
because I if in the exam if they ask this question what like I can't write this whole thing like
Why
so
can't I write all things? You can write intelligence, memory, vision, speech, etc.
Like ask one word answer like
Okay, if they ask one word question, so you can no, they will not ask you in one word question. They will ask you and will give you some of the options in all four of them. So you can in simple word if you want to say that it is just help in it just help in responding those actions those that require one time learning, like at least one time learning. For example, memory if we what is memory? Memory is that we have already learned. Speech if I'm speaking something, that means whatever I'm speaking right now I have already learned that one. Okay, previously learned. Okay, but my point.
yes.
so anything that has been already learned.
Yes.
So what did you wrote after speech?
Reason.
Uh, no, before that.
Memory, reason, reasoning.
Okay, okay. So I completed.
Done, sir.
Then sir.
The next one is diencephalon. That is the third part of the third part that is called diencephalon. And it is small, unpaired. We can say that it is the third part of the brain and it is small, unpaired. What is diencephalon actually? Diencephalon is just structure that you can see that is this is the diencephalon region. Okay, and it is actually hidden in the brain. We generally can't see that inside because it is hidden inside. So diencephalon is the region that is also present in the forebrain, and it is just like this way. This is like this way. Its roof is called epithalamus. Its roof is called epithalamus, and its floor is called hypothalamus. Hypothalamus. Okay, and from this hypothalamus, a very master gland, we call it master gland. Okay, that is attached. That is pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is attached with this. Okay, pituitary gland is attached with this one. Got my point? So diencephalon, it is small, unpaired, and it is responsible for the body related changes. For example, it is responsible for emotion, anger, or you can say that it is responsible for emotion, anger, thirst, pH of the body fluid. Okay, so This is it is related for all those activities. So it is a small, unpaired, and third part of the forebrain. It is the third part. The other two are what are the two? Other one is olfactory lobes, and another one is the cerebrum, yes, cerebral hemisphere. So it is the third unpaired part of the brain. Its roof is called epithalamus, and floor is called hypothalamus. From hypothalamus, it is 1 marks question comes many times. 1 marks question that from which part of the brain the pituitary gland is attached. So it is attached with the hypothalamus or diencephalon, you can say. Okay. So 1 marks question can come from this one. It is important. That is attached and functions. Function is hunger. It controls the hunger, thirst, temperature of body, whether it is increasing temperature, lower temperature. Okay. pH of the body fluid. Okay. Anger, emotion, etc. It is responsible for all those activities. Okay. So please note the diencephalon. Then I will be moving to the next part. Note the diencephalon. Done.
Yes, sir.
Next part is the midbrain. That is the middle part portion, and it
Ready.
still writing. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Done.
Yes.
Other
Yes, sir. Yes.
students.
Yes.
So which gland is attached? Which endocrine? What is pituitary gland? Pituitary gland is a master gland, endocrine gland that we're going to study when we discuss the endocrine system. So you need to understood here more thoroughly that pituitary gland is attached with what? With
Hypothalamus.
diencephalon or
With
hypothalamus.
diaphragm. Yes, sir.
Now moving to the next part is midbrain. Midbrain is, it consists of solid optic lobes. Optic word means vision. You can say that not only one part of the brain is, you see that cerebrum is also responsible for vision. So there can be different parts that can be performing the same function. So that is not only one part of the brain that is responsible for doing only one kind of function. There can be other part of the brain also. So moving to this part is that midbrain, it consists of solid optic lobes. What it consists of? It consists of solid optic lobes. These lobes are helpful in visions as well as in hearing. Optic lobes, midbrain consists of optic lobes, means it is going to have only one part, midbrain, and that consists of optic lobes. What it consists of? Optic lobes. Okay, so it has only one part, that is optic lobe, because it is very small in size and that is not bigger in size, that is midbrain. So this region is called midbrain generally, and this consists of, okay, this region only, that is the midbrain, and that consists of optic lobe that is responsible for the sense of vision and hearing, both hearing also. Got my point? So write down the midbrain also fast.
Done, sir.
And okay.
So one second. Yes.
Moving to the next portion is the hindbrain. Hindbrain is the last part. Do you see here? This is hindbrain. This is actually
So
the
like,
hind.
so if shock is like what happens if there's like a strong shock to the hindbrain?
Then if you
Like,
that this portion consists of
yeah.
hindbrain, and if the means this portion, then it's whatever the activities it is controlling, that will be damaged, like locomotion, movement of body part. Okay, and it is means the last part of this hindbrain controls the involuntary activities such as heartbeat control. Okay, so involuntary activities are those activities that are not controlled in our control. For example, heartbeat, the movement of means respiration. You can say that respiration is in our control, that we can inhale the oxygen, we can stop breathing, but this is breathing. I'm talking about respiration. The respiration is not in our control. Okay, so breathing, we can control it for 2 or 3 minutes. You can stop, but after that, you need to inhale the oxygen because it is not in your control. You cannot permanently stop it. Okay, so there are some involuntary activities like vomiting, coughing. So if you sometimes if you when you went to some you can say that what we called it Jula in English. Jula. I don't know what we called it. Jula. Jula is we get wins in exhibitions. Okay, and we have some type of Jula that having some men are sitting in this one, and when we go round and round and round, then this portion start doing something and we got vomiting. So vomiting is controlled by this part. So if this get damaged, so all those activities which is controlled by this one can be. So moving this one is cerebellum. Cerebellum, the first part of this hindbrain is called cerebellum and is the second largest part. This is the cerebellum. It's this portion is called cerebellum. Okay. This whole portion, this is the portion, this portion is called cerebellum, and this is the second largest part. The first largest part was, tell me,
Forebrain.
cerebrum. Cerebrum. They
Drum.
are having the similar name, almost similar. This is cerebrum, and that was
Blam.
cerebellum. Okay,
Velam.
cerebellum. What is cerebellum means? Cerebellum. Bell in India is called ox. Ox. Okay. And in India, it is famous that you can see anywhere ox moving here and there on the road. So for them, I'm going to explain you that what would happen if an ox or bell means ox in Hindi. In Hindi, we call bell to the ox. Okay. So if an ox is moving behind us, what we will do? We will start moving. Okay. So moving means movement of body part, means locomotion. So this cerebellum control and coordinate the movement of body part and the body posture. You know that if you are not able to stand properly, if you start circling yourself for 5 minutes, start circling yourself, like start rotating yourself, then you will feel that the whole of things is moving and you will not be able to control. So if you suddenly get faint, okay, then what happened? You are not able to stand on your feet. Why? Because this is controlled. Our body posture, that we are able to walk, we are able to learn, if someone inject a syringe to us which is having some anesthesia or something, then we will fall down. Why? Because the activity that is cerebellum is controlling, it is not controlling. Now we can fall down. Why can't we still stand? Why we fall down? Because this body posture, this standing action is controlled by cerebellum. Okay, it is continuously balancing our body. If we are like we having pencil on our pen or pencil on our on my hand, in the start, if it is you have done this one also on the bed with the bat or some other stump or whatever. So if you are having some stick on your hand, you start managing it. If it is moving like this, you start holding it like this way. Have you done this one?
Yes.
So you start. So in this way, our body, the standing position of our body is also controlled and balanced by. If we are moving like this way, the feet stop it, not to move, fall down. It prevents us falling down. So that is controlled. That is called body posture. Maintain body posture. The standing conditions. So that is controlled.
It is in charge of unconscious actions, right?
Yeah. You can say that. So what we are moving lifting hand, so it is controlled. So you can say that is the second largest part, and control and coordinates the and maintain the body posture. Got my point? First part is this one. The second part of this is called pons. This part is called pons. Pons varoli. This word is called pons. Okay. And this pons is a nerve bent fiber. It is a nerve, and you see that is a bent fiber. Is a nerve bent fiber that lies between medulla oblongata and midbrain. That is like this is the medulla oblongata, the part of the brain from which the spinal cord is originating. This is the last part of the brain, and from this part, the spinal cord comes out from cranium. Okay, so if I ask you that from which part of the brain the spinal cord originates, that is from medulla oblongata. So this is medulla oblongata to here, and this is pons. So it is in between. Yes, tell me.
Is pons part? Yeah, is pons part of hindbrain?
Yeah, it is. These are all the three parts. This one, and one is medulla oblongata. These are all the part of the midbrain. The one is cerebellum.
Okay.
Cerebellum. Second one is pons. Okay, that is medulla. It is a nerve bent fiber and carry impulse. What is it? It is carrying impulse from this region, from cerebellum to other part of the brain, because this part is actually disconnected from other part. So if it is sending its message, this cerebellum is sending its message, so it has to pass through this pons. So what is the main function? It is just connecting the hind brain and the midbrain. This is the midbrain. So it is connecting. So it's up to carry impulse from one part of cerebellum to another part. You can understand. Got my point?
Okay.
So it is just not having any specifically function, but it is just acting as an intermediate. Just carry the impulse from one part of the cerebellum to another part. Okay. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Next point is medulla oblongata. That point is medulla oblongata. It is a posterior most and the simplest part of the brain. It is a posterior most. Posterior means last. Anterior most means the front. Okay. The posterior, this is the posterior region and this is the anterior region. This front chest is called anterior and the back is called posterior. So it is the posterior most, means it is the last part and the simplest part of the brain. It is the simplest part of the brain. So you see that it is simple. It is don't have any complicated structure like here. The simplest part. Okay, like this is complicated structure. So it is the simplest part of the brain, and it generally controls, and the lower part of medulla oblongata extend backward to form a spinal cord. It is very important question. So many times it has been asked in examination that from which part of the brain this spinal cord arises, or it has been asked that spinal cord is an extension of which part of the brain. So it is an extension of medulla oblongata. Got my point? It mainly controls involuntary activities. So voluntary activities are controlled by cerebellum. Cerebellum control the voluntary activities. If I wish to lift my hand, it is my voluntary action. So cerebellum control voluntary activities, but the medulla oblongata controls what? What it controls? It controls the involuntary activities of the body, such as peristaltic movement. What is peristaltic movement? When we eat the food reaches into the esophagus, and it reaches the esophagus from mouth to stomach with the help of a specialized action called peristaltic movement. This is like pumping, pushing the food. It is so strong that if you eat the food anti-gravity, means keeping your head down and feet upside, again then you eat the food, then it will reach to the stomach against the gravity. So that is called peristaltic movement. So that is, if you eat something, then it will definitely reach to the stomach. If you once you lift the food from mouth and enter this one, then nobody is going to stop it. It will continuously go into it will definitely go into the esophagus, because esophagus start doing the action that is called involuntary action, that is called peristaltic movement. If you once engulf the food and it reaches to this region, then you cannot bring it back. Once it is engulfed,
Yeah,
then
what about vomiting?
vomiting is also involuntary action. You cannot do it by your own, because if you wish, means if you are fingering in your mouth, it will
Yes.
start. You can start with this one, but it is independent. Vomiting is not vomiting, because if I am having this is my normal conditions, I am not vomiting. It is not my wish, but if
Yes.
some condition are unsatisfied, if something is happening in a body that is improper, and vomiting will come, and I cannot stop it. For example, if you are going in car somewhere, and if there is a person who is vomiting, okay.
Yes.
Sir, you are not audible because I am facing issue over here. Can I leave and I try to join it? Ashir is saying join it. If not able to attend the class, please respond. Class is about to. Class is about to over. Just
Sir, you said if we swallow something, it like pushes back. So, but while vomiting, it like does the opposite thing.
what? What are you saying?
So, like you said, if we swallow something, it like pushes back. But while we vomit, it does the opposite thing.
Opposite thing, na? Yes, it is also controlled, but during the time of vomiting, the conditions are not satisfied. These are also involuntary actions. So some other things is being done. It's removed by our body. So this is not a normal condition. This vomiting is not a normal condition of the body. So during, if we are having like we are respiring here, but if somebody give us injection that is going to kill us, so we are not respiring during that time when we are dying. So it's very simple that if you are not having any cough, means can you control your cough if you are having cough? No.
No,
Can you control your vomit if you are having vomit? No. You have to go to the doctor. So these are involuntary actions. Respiration, you cannot stop the respiratory movements. You don't have the will. This is not, but you can control if you don't want to lift your hand, you don't want it. If you want to lie on the bed, you can lift it. If you don't want to get up, you don't want to get up. So these are voluntary actions. These are controlled by which? These are controlled by cerebellum. Well, you remember, and in the similar way, the medulla oblongata controls the involuntary activities. Got my point? So if the question comes at which part of the brain controls voluntary actions, That is cerebellum. And which part of the brain control involuntary action? That is medulla oblongata. But my point.
Yes, sir.
So please note it down, hindbrain.
So done.
Done. Other students.
Yes, sir.
So
Done, sir.
please note this one also. On some day I will check your copy. Okay, I will ask you to give me the photographs. So don't worry that if you are online that I can keep a watch on you.
The
Okay, I will check it. So
okay,
these notes
sir.
are very important. If you prepare these notes, I am damn sure that you are going to have 100% marks in maths.
Okay, sir.
Done.
Still
Done,
it
sir.
is.
Question writing.
Yes, finish.
Just
Okay, note
Done,
it down.
sir.
So done.
The students done.